What's up, everybody? I'm Tahukan, and it's October. It's spooky month, and today is Halloween. It's time for your skeletons to rise up and to rewatch your favorite slasher guys chop people up in one of their countless sequels. They got a lot of them, both in sheer number of movies and baddies doing the murders. For some people, it's all about Jason Voorhees, the dude who made Friday the 13th what it is, despite not being in the first one and also being a fucked up scarecrow in the second one. I mean, look at this. Who thought this bumbling idiot was a good antagonist? And not just that, a terrifying antagonist. This. At least it got better later on. Right? And you know, for others, they're big fans of Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw series of movies, the canonical, mentally handicapped, cannibal, chainsaw-wielding psychopath. He eats people and wears their faces. Admittedly, I don't know much about Leatherface. Like, the most concrete thing I know is that Alexandra Daddario is in the remake from like 2013, and it was 3D, I think. What? Why? Okay, listing them off, this may not have been a good idea. There's a lot of horror icons. I mean, we've got Freddy Krueger, the horrifically scarred man who kills people in their nightmares, Pinhead, who endlessly tortures people. I think the shark from Jaws counts. That puppet fucker, Chucky, the xenomorph, and of course, Michael Myers. Michael Myers is, I'd say, the most recognizable horror icon, period. Don't get me wrong, Jason and Freddy are, I mean, they're up there, but I don't think they're nearly as recognizable as his ironically featureless mask. Well, maybe Jason kinda is up there. Yeah. I mean, who knows? Maybe he's tied with Mr. Pizza Fan Face, but that's all I'm gonna give it. I don't know. Michael Myers just can't be beat. Get it? Because he can't be beat, because he never did that. Whatever. Anyway, this week I'm not just going to be talking about the new Halloween movie, but also a whole bunch of other neat horror films. But mostly Halloween. So that I can round out this month with an excellent episode of Hot Garbage that's horror-centric for all you people celebrating Halloween. So, right off the bat, let's talk about Halloween. The only franchise I was actually able to watch several of before making this video. Anyway, the Rob Zombie remake of Halloween, the most recent Halloween movies to come out before the new one, it's not horrible. That's the general idea I got while watching it. It's not horrible. Horror movies are pretty similar, at least the 80s to 2000 ones. They're all very much about the kills, which is fine, but Rob Zombie tried to make Halloween about more than just the kills. I just wish he didn't make it such a weird mess. The first act is neat. It's got a new origin for Michael, a longer one that I liked, so that was good. The second act is the worst case of deja vu ever, and the third and final act is just boring. It sucks. It's got some alright parts, but it's one of my least favorite endings for a movie. My biggest issue watching the Rob Zombie remake of Halloween was that much of the plot, excluding the first part, which I did like, as I said, it's just a near shot-for-shot remake of the original. Same dialogue, same scenes, same fucking everything. It's the exact wrong way to do nostalgia. You know, you can do a nod to something, but you don't take an entire scene. At one point, he actually makes one of the scenes for it look the exact same as the original by actually color grading it to look like a shitty 1970 camera reel. Why? Overall, it just comes off ridiculously lazy, like he didn't even want to write his own script. I give it a 2 out of 3 for boobs, a 1 out of 3 for plot. Literally the entire second act, the thing that lays down what the movie is actually about, is as messed up as Australia losing a war to emus. A fucking bird. And I give the kills a 2 out of 4, leaving us at a nice score of 5 out of 10. So putting aside the Rob Zombie remake, let's look at the original Halloween. Halloween is a slasher, like a lot of the films from the 70s and 80s, as you all know, and I don't really need to go over this, but I'm still gonna go over it. It's got a scary main guy or monster doing all those killings, mostly randomly. Jason and Michael are the standouts here, and Halloween's great. I absolutely love it. We've got Sam Loomis, Michael's doctor, who's convinced the man is nothing but evil incarnate, and then you have Laurie Strode at the center of it all, being stalked by Michael as he kills her friends and anyone who unwittingly gets in his way. The issues with Halloween stem from the technology at the time. The kills are really unimpressive. You can just go up to Halloween 2, and they're already better. And that's just a few years later. Compared to the remake in 2007, it's a whole other world. Anyway, I give it a 2 out of 3 for boobs, a 3 out of 3 for plot, and a 2 out of 4 for kills, leaving us with a nice old score of 7. The sequel isn't as good as the original, I still recommend it. Halloween 2 is set right after, and it takes a while to get going, ironically, despite being set right after. You'd imagine to get right into the action, but it doesn't. We see a lot of Michael stalking, but far more off-screen kills than any of the others I've seen so far. Even the Rob Zombie one, which had a fuckload of off-screen kills, I don't really think surpasses this one. The plot also isn't that intriguing, unfortunately, because it is set directly after. It doesn't have much to go off except for Michael stalking Laurie. There's a couple of neat twists. Like I said, I still recommend it, but it's nowhere near as good as the first. The changes in setting to a hospital and having Michael kill the staff slowly is pretty neat, admittedly, and leads to some pretty cool kills that I really liked. The only issue, again, is that it's more of a tease than actual kills. But the biggest reason to see this one is because of the ending. It's great. Just great. Anyway, it's a 3 out of 3 for boobs, a 1 out of 3 for plot, and 2 out of 4 for kills, leaving us with a nice score of 6. Now, right after this one, a lot of them become mouthfuls. We have Halloween 3, which we're going to ignore completely. I want you guys to stay with me. Halloween 3 does not exist. Halloween 3 does not exist. In general, this is an issue with all horror movies. They become mouthfuls. It's the case with non-horror movies, but goddamn, horror movies sure do fucking love having whack-ass names. They just can't resist it. It's like every time someone sees a horror movie sequel, they just slap Resurrection on it. Or they'll use the same naming gimmick every goddamn time, over and over again, with tiny little twists. Like, for instance, look at Friday the 13th. We've got part 2, part 3, and then the final chapter. That should in there, right? It should in there. Psych, motherfucker! Nope! Because we're back! Friday the 13th, a new beginning! And guess what? It's not even a year later, not a fucking year later. It's 11 goddamn months. 11! Who plots this stuff? Do they just throw darts at the wall, and when they stick, they're just like, new movie? And then with Halloween, they just straight up stopped using numbers around the 5th movie. After that, it was just, nope, we're done now, we're done! It's just too hard, guys, you know, we gotta just, let's be easy with it. It's pretty funny how a lot of names, like the names for the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, which I'll be honest, I haven't actually seen. I just think they're fucking hilarious. I want to share it. We've got really solid titles here. We've got Freddy's Revenge. It's very original. I've never seen another revenge movie ever. And then we've got Dream Warriors and the Dream Master and the Dream Child. And it ends with the final nightmare, which it goes Nightmare, Revenge, Dream, 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 Nightmare. I don't know where the continuity of all that falls. When you look at it, they did not use Wes Craven for like any of them. They used his script for the 3rd one, and they used him for the original, as you hopefully all know. But they got weird. They got real weird names. And from my understanding, the movies they're a bit odd as well. Like I said though, I just find it funny. It's really stupid. I mean, actually, that's how I'm going to do these videos next. The next one will be Hot Garbage Kanye's Dreams, and then Hot Garbage Incel Dreams. There are none, because they're pessimists. Anyway, on to the best one, Halloween 2018. The latest and greatest Halloween movie isn't a remake. It's a continuation set 40 years after the original, and in this universe, nothing happened after that night. Just nothing. They caught him, that's it. Halloween takes a little bit of time setting stuff up, and then it breaks Michael free. Honestly, it does it a lot better than I expected. I'm not gonna spoil it or anything, that'd be ridiculous. Psst, he kills people. It's just a really good one. I think it's the best one, honestly. And you can really tell they cared about Halloween as a whole while making this one. It was made by fans, and it plays the nostalgia card properly. Whereas Rob Zombie, he liked Halloween and he wanted to make a neat Halloween movie. He made one he liked to make. The people that made Halloween 2018 made one that they as fans would like to see, which is a subtle thing, but it is very important and a very important part of why this movie is so much better than the Rob Zombie remakes. Anyway, I give it a 1 out of 3 for boobs, a 3 out of 3 for plot, and a 5 out of 4 for kills, leaving us a nice score of 9, which I definitely did not fuck around with to make it fit 9 at all. It's very good. 9 out of 10. Go see it. And it has one scene with my guy, like at least 60 extras, and it's all one take. Jesus fuck, it's great. Best Halloween movie since the original. So I plan to watch more of them, but Amazon cock-blocked me, so I wasn't able to. And I don't want to go off memory, so I'm gonna end the Halloween part here, but what I can say is this. Horror movies are fucking whack, man. But with spy movies, like, you know, it'll have twists and choreography. With action ones, you know shit'll blow up and there'll be one-liners. But with horror movies, the only thing that really ties the whole genre together is murder. And scares, most of the time. And even then, it really divides into like 2 different types within horror. Like, there's multiple subsets of them, but there's like two general ones. Like we got psychological horror and then we got on-screen horror. So for example, like for psychological horror, you've got Saw and A Quiet Place, and then for physical on-screen horror, you know, kills and shit, you got Halloween and Friday the 13th. All of them are good movies, fun movies, but they're different types of horror. Saw and A Quiet Place, at least the original Saw, get to you with the psych stuff, and A Quiet Place is all about the unseen. What happens when we're left without our greatest strength? Communication. Also known as what allows you guys to get excellent content from me. But it's not the case with Halloween and Friday the 13th. It's all about suspense and kills. Suspense and kills, my dudes. That's why I used a different scale for them instead of just saying, but as you can all tell, my lofty opinions on tits and blood and kills shows that these are some high caliber movies, minus the Zombies remake. Just largely suck if ass, you poor twat. It's just not fair to compare them like I normally do them. Plus, this is supposed to be fun. I'm supposed to tell you guys, go see these movies. These are gonna be fun. You're gonna have a good Halloween. Yeet! I'm gonna regret that line. Of course, I'll probably never use the boobs, plots, kills scale again, but hey, I'm rating horror movies, slasher films at that. It's not like we're looking at Oscar-worthy movies. These are just, they're fun, good movies, but they aren't the Phantom Fred, and they aren't a bunch of other shit that gets Oscars. I mean, that's just the fact of the matter. Now listen, I know with Hot Garbage, you guys want me to brutally shit on stuff. So I will. The horror genre as a whole is largely talentless. The vast majority of movies made within it focus on gore and jump scares to scare you rather than making a movie that gets you suspenseful for what may happen next, rather than being scared of the jump scares about to come out in front of you. There are very few horror movies that are really good. There's way too many that are just fine and entertaining. There's zero issue with that, of course, and I don't actually have anything that's gaming to say about horror movies. So I'm sorry. Make good movies, and I like good movies. I will review good movies. Anyway, I'm sorry if this video is a bit shorter or longer. I honestly don't know. Depends on what I actually cut from this. But if you're interested in those cut bits, they will be on my Patreon, the entire script of this. I may not cut anything, I may cut something. You never know. And I also put exclusive reviews up there for movies that I think actually suck real ass. Real badass. Or they're just bland, I don't know. Whatever. If you want to check that out, all of those perks start at $1 and go all the way up to a lot more money you can give me to help support me and not be very poor and not able to afford a quesarito, which is the main goal. I want to own every quesarito on the planet. All of them. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and now I have some stuff I need to do.
Oh my god. Hello? Who's there? Okay. A huge thank you to Patreon supporters Anonymous and Matt Porter. I really appreciate it.